What is all my niggas? Name my niggas. Merch. Yeah, we go off merch. Deucey. Yo, what's good? Hopefully y'all having a great start to y'all's year. You know what I mean? Um, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of like jump into it. So up until this point, everything that I've kind of talked about has been about control, right? It's not motivation, it's not hype, it's not tricks, it's dead ass just control, right? Because of the reason that I've seen why most people never monetize consistently isn't because it's a lack of effort, right? There's people that have been posting social media content for years on end and they just never get it, right? It's a lack of structure. It's because they post when they feel like it, they sell whenever they get nervous, and they change direction when nothing happens immediately, right? It's not a strategy, it's just reacting, right? So even if like your launch doesn't go correct, it might not just be like, hey, like no one wants the product. You guys just didn't do a good enough job explaining the product before you launched, right? And day five, it's the whole purpose of today is just to end that cycle. Because what we built isn't just a content plan, it's not a funnel, it's not like even like a monetization tactic. It's literally just like an operating system. So it doesn't care about how you feel today, it tells you like what you need to do anyways. And that's the difference between the creators and the operators and the theme pages who make money and the people who can do it on command. You know what I mean? Because if you're not consistent, if you don't have a real system that you can plug in day in and day out, even when you don't feel like doing it, right, you'll sometimes make money. And the important shift that I want everyone to internalize before we build anything like on this dream is that monetization isn't something that you hope to have. It's something that you design. Right? When someone raises their hand, whether it's a DM, a comment, a click, that's not luck. That's them signaling that they have intent to give you some fucking money. Right? And that intent is super fragile because you don't know what exactly is going to happen next. If you hesitate, if you over explain, or if you improvise, right? The intent lies. Not because the offer is bad, because you like I said yesterday, you just broke momentum. And so that's why I built like the monetization control sheet, right? So you never stop guessing on what to fix. You're never emotional about any of the fucking results. You never confuse any attention that you generate with progress, right? What I've seen is that most people never log, right? So one thing I've seen, like as being a co operator in my own theme pages, is that logging my runs does a lot, right? Um, hold on, I'm gonna get to it, gangster. Give me a second to get through this, right? Most people just screenshot them, they celebrate them, they talk about them, but they even forgot how they happened, right? For me, I don't do that, right? I capture the cause, right? Because once I started to understand why something was starting to work, I was able to go ahead and repeat it. That's why, um, well, what's your audience? You know what I mean? Like, what's your audience? What are you selling to your audience? Because at the end of the day, you probably haven't even built your audience correctly. You're probably selling them a product or an offer that they don't even know that they fucking need yet. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, what's your audience? What niche are you in? And like, what are you trying to sell into? Like, what are you trying to sell? You know what I mean? And so, like I said, after I started understanding why something was working, I was able to start repeating it, right? And once I was able to start repeating it, like making the money stop getting exciting. Right? I remember the first time I made like $30,000 off Instagram stories in a weekend. I was like, oh shit, like I'm lit, I'm turned, right? And then I was like, okay, fuck, like why did this happen? I sat there and I reconstructed why it happened, right? And then it was like, okay, make money on Discord. Well, it depends, right? how much are you charging, right? And what's like the clear transformation they're getting from joining your Discord? And is there like a low ticket to high ticket assistant plan where it's just like, hey, I came in your Discord, I've made some more money, my demo is broke. That's that's a skill issue, bro. Like your demo, like, how much are you charging per month that you think that your demographic is broke, right? Because bro, Tate was making millions of dollars a month off a $50 fucking subscription, right? Bro, so how I made the $30,000 off my story is that, bro, one, we were pointing to a high ticket product, right? So it was like $1,500, but it's like it's high enough to where it's like, if we get 20 buyers, it's a substantial amount of people that have bought, right? I think 20, even though that math is wrong. No, it is 20 because 10 is 15, right? So it's like, even if we get 20 people to buy in a weekend, that's still good chicken. You know what I mean? So the creator, he was hot, right? He was in the trading niche. He had just pulled out, like, I think $120,000 from a prop firm, right? So we were hot. We had great results. We had a lot of people buzzing about the DMs. You know what I mean? And then it was just like, all right, cool. Every story is like, hey, how can I have you mentor me? How can I have you mentor me? So the ask was there. So when we just dropped it, right? Instead of having the webinar, we just dropped the same webinar offer on like the stories. It converted super well. You know what I mean? And so the goal with everything is for monetization to stop being exciting and start being predictable. So it's not, you don't want to chase excitement anymore. You want to chase fucking control. Because the truth is that a lot of people don't like to hear is that if your content gets a lot of attention but doesn't create any intent, H2, whatever the fuck the name is, right? You're just entertaining your fucking audience as an influencer. You're just a fucking you're caught in literally the content wheel, right? If your content creates intent but doesn't convert, you're leaking something, right? And if you convert once but you can't do it again, you're just relying on pure luck, right? And so this system that I'm about to go over today fixes it all. It tells you if your bridge is weak. It tells you if your conversion flow is broken or if your system just isn't locked. It's no drama. It's no doubt. It's just signal. So here's what I'm about to go kind of build on this live for Train Solo. It's because the system only matters if they work on a real business, not a hypothetical, not a perfect example, not something that's cleaned up for a case study, a real product, a real audience, a real like with real constraints. Right? I want you to see how this looks when it's installed in real time, not edited, not polished. It's operational. And so as we build, right, I want you to know something. I'm not going to invent new ideas. I'm not going to brainstorm endlessly. I'm not going to chase cleverness. You're just entertaining. You're not converting. You're just literally like entertaining. That's why you're stuck in like the content creator, content flu, like trap. It's because like you don't know how to convert your audience. You think they're fucking broke, right? But let's say you have a following of 100,000 followers. Not all 100,000 people that follow you are fucking broke. There is 100 people that follow you that have $10,000 to go give you. You just have to go fucking post the content to get these niggas to come like get to you, right? And so over the course of the stream, we're gonna lock in the message. We're gonna identify patterns. We're gonna like install a cadence. We're gonna map the conversion flow, and we're gonna commit to execution. That's it, right? Because most of the time, you don't need more ideas. You just need to make few decisions, right? And so, if at any point you feel uncomfortable, like watching this is completely normal. Structure removes excuses. Clarity removes hiding places. 7 likes per post. Yeah, your shit's cooked. Like, you know what I mean? Are you using a personal brand as a faceless? Like, what can you share about like the predicament that you're in right now? Once you know exactly what to do, though, you won't be able to blame the algorithms. You won't be able to blame timing. You won't be able to blame confusion. Either you execute the shit or you don't, right? And that's where like the real growth actually fucking happens. It's the moment that a lot of people never reach, right? Is because they confuse frameworks. They say a lot of posts, they watch lives, right? But you never go and fucking install anything. Tonight, it is to install, right? Even though I'm doing this exercise for Train Solo, it's literally just for like the niggas that are watching this shit, right? Because once you've seen something built end to end, you can't unsee it. And once you can't unsee it, you can't go back to guessing, right? And so as we go through this live build, I want you to do the same thing. I'm gonna share the sheet with you guys. Fill it in, pause when we pause, build when we build. This isn't something to kind of like watch, it's something to run. So let's kind of get into like the system. So before I go ahead and do that, I was posting daily. Well, what type of content are you posting? You know what I mean? Like, what type of content are you posting? What? And it's just like even like 30 to 70K views. to 20K likes, right? How many comments were you getting? How many saves were you getting, right? Because all that shit matters per a lot more than just the fucking likes that you're getting, bro. Like, I would say the like to view ratio is fucking god awful. You know what I mean? Like, I posted a reel like 2 days ago. It has like 2,000 views or 3,000 views, but this is on my personal page that I just made private. Um, teach us how you generate 10 million views in 2 minutes after making a new account. Um, off the rip, off the rip, in order to have a new account and generate a lot of views, it's just like you have to post content and like if you warm up the account the right way, when you engage with people in your niche and your audience before you ever post the content, Instagram's already gonna know what algorithm to put you in. You know what I mean? Now it's just like, all right, cool. Based on my race research, based on me interacting with the people that are going viral in my niche, how can I replicate this and add my own unique spin? Right? It's not like they had a great tweet where he was like, "Don't try to copy everything, right? Try to be an originator, right? So you might see an angle that's working. Try to make original like content in that fucking niche. You know what I mean? But it's just like, so like, bro, you already know what to go do to go get back to the five figures, right? You already know what to fucking go ahead and do. You just need to go and fucking do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you're posting daily and you're making five figures, one of the number one thing that you need to go back to do isn't to go recreate what you do when you're making five figures. If the biggest lever was, hey, I was just posting daily, go fucking twist that lever and see if you get back to that point, right? But like I said, today's all about going from conversion into control, how to make monetization predictable, repeatable, and scalable, right? And so what we'll build today is a control dashboard, like what to track daily, a one ledger, what to log per conversion, right? A pattern map, what's working plus why, a weekly cadence, right? Exactly what we're going to post every single week, and a 30-day operating plan. And I've been posting the same shit. Well, are you posting are you posting like is it like faceless, bro, or you like is it like a personal brand? Because it's two very different answers on how to like get the conversions back. I'm really trying to get 20% of the views I'm getting. I'm really okay. Well, it's like it's like this, right? So you already understand the math of it, right? So now it's just like, all right, based on the views that you were getting, how can you take like it's now it's like your essential plans. You're already capturing the fucking email, faceless. Join the Discord and DM me real quick, bro. Um, but it's just like no. You don't have to just show your face if you built the thing faceless, right? Now it's just about maximizing conversions. It was making like 30K, so I was cool. Yeah. What do you think? Why do you think the biggest reason why you stopped making that money, you stopped getting the views, right? And so like the operating rule is just like if you can't measure it, you can't control it. If you can't control it, you can't scale it, right? And so like this is like the perfect example, right? You didn't have any control. You didn't know like, hey, if I post this video with this CTA, I'm gonna go get on average this many views, right? And so I was like, all right, cool. We're gonna go from there, right? You can't pinpoint exactly like what nuked your account. Market shifted. No, I don't think the market ever shifted, bro. Because you gotta think about it. Brez runs a make money online fucking info offer, $1 million plus a month. TGR make money online trading offer, $1 million plus a month. Fucking Mason Cardinal, um, make money online copywriting offer, $1 million plus a month. Well, what made you want to pivot, right? And so how to monetize, right? It's traffic, intent, conversion, then you repeat it, right? And today we're going to try to show you guys how to repeat this into a fucking system, right? Because there's only four KPIs that truly matter: is reach, how many hand raises you get, which is DMs, comments, clicks, conversions, which is just sales or calls booked, and revenue, which is cash collected. And so once we start tracking only these, you'll still win. You know what I mean? And so the definitions of this, so like we're all on the same page, is that reach is just the total amount of views on posts that you want to monetize. Shit was plateauing, but it's like, all right, cool. If shit's plateauing, right, you have to figure out how do I add more value and what can I do? What results can I sell on to justify a new increase? right? And so with a faceless page, right, what it sounds like is that the audience lost trust because not only did you shift the messaging inside the Discord internally that turned in the group that was paying you also shifted the messaging of the video that you were posting. Because if you're just posting the same video, you get the same amount of fucking views. And the reason why I know this is because of my friend, like, I hope him get I still talk to him about his fucking gambling page. He's posted the same content for the last year and a fucking half. You know what I mean? He gets the same amount of fucking views. He makes the same amount of fucking money because he's never changed his fucking position. You know what I mean? And so, right, the hands raised just how many people took the CTA. Conversion just paid outcomes, whether it's a sale or a book call, right, and revenue, right, that's collected, not promised, right. What happened? Bro, you change your positioning, you change your messaging. You know what I mean? Let me do this real quick. You change your positioning, you change your messaging, right? You start being clear, right? Where it's like, okay, cool. If you join this Discord, here are the clear outcomes, right? You pivoted in the Discord, right? And so that disconnect between like the Discord and the new way that you would want to market the shit on Instagram caused a rift, right? It caused the people that are already in your Discord right now to be like, oh, okay, cool, like this is weird. I'm not really with this shit. They left. Now you're having trouble trying to get new people in because you have new messaging that doesn't fucking work, right? And so now you're in the position that you're in right now. For my opinion, right, I don't know shit about shit. I don't know what the offer really is. You know what I mean? I don't know the page. I'm not in Discord. I don't know none of that. I'm just going off based on like what you're telling me, right? And so there's baseline targets, right? And so for me, every 1,000 views should produce 5 to 20 hand raises, right? So that says like, hey, the bridge is very real, right? And every 10 people should produce 1 to 3 conversions, right? If what we talked about yesterday is tight, right? If you're below this, you don't need more traffic, right? You just need like fewer leaks, right? And so like for your example, let's say you're getting like how many views did you say you're getting? You go quick. You said you're getting like 7 to 30K views, right? So from 7 to 30K views, you should have, 35 to 140 people, take the CTA. You know what I mean? And out those 35 people, right, you should have 5 conversions, like 5 to 20 conversions, right? And so if you're below that, it just means you're leaking somewhere. 6, 7. But it's like, yeah, 6 to 7, you know what I mean? So you should have like 30 to 35, right, to 120, 140 views, like people that are interested in like getting the free guide. Right? But it's just like you can get back to that 30K point, right? You just need a couple of videos to do well, right? And you need to find your leak, right? So if you get a lot of reach, but your hand raised is low, like it's uh it's a bridge problem, right? But in your case, it seems like your reach is low, but you have a lot of hand raises, whereas people that are getting the CTAs, right, and you're getting where you're slightly below target, right, but you're getting a lot of conversions, right. So I think that your problem is like you just need a better bridge, where it's like you get these reach, you get these people, right, you get them to convert based on like a little bit of views that you're getting, right? But now it's like, okay, cool. How do I get more people that are interested in this product, right? So now you have to go to like the flow. What happens from when they give you the CTA to when they buy? Are you in the DMs over explaining shit? Are you in the DMs? Like what you mean by like the exact same shit? Like, do you mind sharing your do you mind sharing the picture with me? Yeah, share your picture with me. We'll go find the link from there. Right. And so it's like the complete control of that dashboard where it's just like reach, hand raise, revenue, what worked today, what you repeat tomorrow. Right. And I guess this is where like exactly what your problem is, right? Well, I think that's the issue, right? I think I'll go over. Let me finish this. Let me clicks info. Huh. Let me finish with this, and then we could go through this live. So I do think there's a couple things that you can't tweak that I seen off the rip, but I do want to kind of see something else, right? But I do think that the thing is that you just forgot like how you were actually winning, right? You don't like 'cause you do post the exact same video over and over again. You know what I mean? You do like I give you that you do post the exact same video over and over again. Right. But I guess you didn't capture the recipe where, okay, I'm getting these views because of this, and that. 'Cause I guess like if I go and I nitpick your videos, that's the thing, especially in the resale in the industry, bro. A lot of people are it's fast money and it's the lifestyle shit, right? If you're selling fake reps, right? You think about it. You have fake design and you have the watches. You probably have some counterfeit money, right? You make 100K a month on Discord. I can go live a cool lifestyle and make you think that all the shit's legit, right? But let me go look at the page real quick. Uh, yeah, yeah, I go find it. But let me finish this real quick, or we're never gonna get off. Right? There's a one ledger where we log the calls, not just the results. So for every time we get a conversion, we log the platform, the content role, whether we're diagnosing a problem, reframing a problem, demonstrating, which is a lot that what you're doing a lot of demonstrating, but you're not really prescribing, right? We log the hook, the core belief created, the CTA used, the entry point, the objection that showed up, right? We will close the set. If there's no objection that showed up, right, it's just like, all right, cool. We ask them, okay, cool, why did you buy? Right, let me see what you said. And he doesn't even need a stack MMR to make that much, it's just new customers. Well, is he only going low ticket or is he selling anything high ticket as well too? Because to get to 60,000 from $50, that's 1,200 people a month that he's selling into, right? To keep that baseline. So like he probably has like an extension plan on the back end. Whereas like if you want, you could join this Discord, get all the basic generic tips, but you want specific help on your specific business, we could go from there, right? Because this reminds me of whenever I was working on like the Amazon FBA. Yeah, yeah, but it's just like yeah, think about it, like it's not hard, and if it's not reoccurring, that's really just an impulse decision. Right? You gotta think about like $40 if it's not reoccurring, it's literally just an impulse decision where it's just like, hey, here's the vendor. And you probably buy that for 40, and then he just has a crazy ascension plan on the back end. Where it's just like he probably has a mentorship, he probably has a Discord, he probably has a way for you to go from paying $40 to a $5,000 mentorship. Right? And so you have like the role where it's just like just diagnose the hook. And this is just an example. The hook, if you're posting but nothing converts, right? The belief is my issues direction, not effort. The CTA you use is bridge. The main objection is, will this work for me? And the closing line is like, yes, because we're fixing the next step first. Right. And I guess for you, if you're selling into a make money online Discord, you're selling your business opportunity, what's the specific change that your Discord what change do they get from joining your Discord? What's the value that I have every month on the first? I give you $50. What do I get out? You know what I mean? And so this is a win ladder, right? And so here's how you upgrade, right? The first win is just like proof that you can have a conversion. The second one is just like, hey, the certain patterns are emerging. After the 10th sale, right, you can repeat this, and at the 20 sales, you can scale it, right? And so if you've had any DMs or sales this week, right, you should go ahead. I'm gonna share. Let me put this in the chat. How to use it. Good, yeah. So we haven't had any sales today. Let me do this one. We haven't had any sales today, but let me go ahead and, and pick it out, right? So we had a demo. This one had like 151,000, 25. It's 735. Why is it not working? Fuck it. And today had a video viral. Sorry. Creators and exchange should right. So we just like that's pretty much how you go and do that, right? And so underrated skill, right, is pattern recognition. My business partner, Mike, he always told me, he's like, bro, it's like you can see into the future. You always know what's about to happen, right? And at the end of the day, life, like history repeats itself, right? So if one thing happens one time, the odds are that specific scenario situation is going to manifest itself in a different environment, but things around you are going to start shaping and feeling like it's the exact same. You know what I mean? And so like one pattern recognition is I start every year sick as fuck. And every year that I start sick as shit, I make the most amount of money. But the years that I don't start sick as fuck, I don't make as much money as I have, and I kind of plateau. For example, like this year I didn't start the year sick. So it's like, all right, cool. I know I'm gonna have a great year based on what I made last year, but last year was my best, well, it was like my best year ever. You know what I mean? And so, like the pattern grid that you want to go start looking for is for each post that produce like that has CTAs, right? Where it's a hand raise, you want to score 1 through 5. You want to score the clarity of the hook, the strength of the diagnosis, the simplicity of the CTA, the speed of action, and the fit to the specific buyer that you're looking for. And you want to rank it out of 25, right? And then you want to extract your top two patterns, right? One's going to be a diagnosis problem where you explain the problem, and the other one's going to be like a reframe problem, right? So whatever your top two patterns are, you write them out, and then you kind of say, all right, cool, we're going to keep everything that's generating hand raises. We're going to approve the patterns that only raise hands, they don't convert, right? So I think that's where you are age, where it's like you have to improve on what gets you hand raises, but it's just not converting. Because whatever you're doing, if you're getting 3, 4 sales, making $150 a day, that's still decent chicken. You know what I mean? That's still like, you know what I mean? It's straight. It's like $4,500 a month, right? But now you're gonna have to improve upon that pattern, right? Because yes, the demo content does work, right? But now there has to be more to get the people to convert, right? Because like, yeah, the shit works, but it's like, okay, what do I gain from this shit? Like, what do I gain from learning this fucking skill? They don't really gain anything. You know what I mean? So like, that's why I say like, what's the specific transformation in your Discord to take someone from, looking into getting into reselling into giving you the $50 a month, right? What's the transformation? What are you offering? Like, who are you helping? How are you helping? Right? Because likes don't scale, conversions do. Right? And so you have to have your message locked because once a message converts, you freeze. Right? The core belief, the promise, the CTA structure. You only change the angles, the examples, and the stories. Right? So for you, like once you figured out, like, hey, this pattern type gets me this amount of conversions, you did a good job. You froze it, right? But you haven't just tried any other angles. You know what I mean? It's the same angle over and over and over again, right? The core belief is that like, hey, it's possible, right? And the promise that you're making is possible because I'm doing it in real time every single fucking day, right? And you don't need to show your face on it, right? You could do there's a couple ways that you can go about it and still keep it completely faceless. So I do agree you can't show face on a page like that because it kind of ruins the authenticity of it. You know what I mean? And so you guys have to go fill in like this belief, which the core belief, the promise, the CTA. And once and this is like we saw H a whole bunch of fucking numbers. You saw once you lock this in, you're revenue fucking stabilized. Right, there was no fluctuation. It was just cool, right? Consistent 30, 50K a fucking month, right? Because you didn't try to improve what's working. You didn't try to, you know what I mean, add something else to the fold. It was just like, okay, this works. I'm going to spam this until it doesn't work. Right. So now what happens whenever you tap in to the demographic? Because you're not fucking bored. They just have fatigue of seeing the same shit, the same CTA. Right. There's no improvements. There's no different angles. There's none of this. Right. The angle that you can took this the same exact video like, hey, how's this product making me, right? Because now you have to have some proof, right? You have to prove that what you're doing is working, right? Here's how I made $25,000 or $10,000 from reselling, right? You have to become a reseller and start talking about like, hey, here's how I'm actually doing the fucking reselling. If you want to learn how to go resell like me, right? Join my Discord, 20, 50,000 but for example, that's something that could work, right? And if the work feels boring, that's really good because boring is repeatable and repeatable means scalable. But like, so like let's say for example, like, yeah, but that's the thing though, right? The side hustle is only a side hustle because it's as serious as you take it, right? Because I had an Amazon FBA client, and the method that he was teaching was literally the method that you learned, right? Mind you, that's not. I'm pretty sure that's not how he built to where he's at right now, right? But it's just like that's still how he got his start. You could side, bro. You gotta think about it. Most things that you do online after a certain age is going to be a side hustle. Like you know what I mean? Like if you want to trade, like no one buys a trading course over the age of 25 looking for this to go be like their full time gig. And this is like, I'm going all in, blind faith. This is gonna fucking work out for me. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like most of the time, like the best buyers people are like, bro, I just need an extra 2 to 3K a month, bro. And if I make more than 2 to 3K a month, I'm still not gonna quit my job until I'm making double from what my job is. Right? You just have a whole bunch of like limiting beliefs. You know what I mean? Because the real product and all this shit is just a cadence, right? If you don't have any cadence, you don't know what to post or what kind of content to post. You just every week you're starting fresh from fucking zero with your hand in your fucking with your dick in your fucking hand. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of full types of content that you need. I always recommend posting a time a day, right? But at the bare minimum, post one time a day and just pick one of these content types where you're going to have an intent post where you diagnose and reframe. You're going to have a proof post, right? Which is what you're doing, where you're just having to demo the process, the results, right? You're going to have an injection post where you're going to answer the number one doubt, and just a direction post, right? A lot of people, like, if you don't have a clear CTA post, a lot of people don't know what the fuck you're selling, right? Just especially now, people will follow you because it's like, oh, the information is good on this real, or this is really good, or I fuck with this, or this is this, right? Start mixing this into your page, page with a lot of fucking numbers, and you'll see like, hey, you start making more money, right? And the weekly plan is just 3 intent posts, 2 proof posts, 1 objection post, and 1 direction post. That's 7 posts, just one, like I said, one per day. Just pick, see what works with you. You know what I mean? These numbers are what work with me and my clients, right? But we're not in the same industry as you, right? And you want to turn patterns into a posting system. So for each post, choose one or two patterns, right? One new example in the same CTA, and you make the consistency automatic, right? You already have the first pattern that fucking works. Introduce a new one. You know what I mean? And then go from there, right? And so what you should do is you should kind of take a moment, pause, and then build like the next 7 days with the content. Do it just as like the head. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're selling this information like yourself, whereas like you're actually in the field, this should be relatively easy for you. But if you're not in the field, you know what I mean? That's when it gets a little murky. Um, so yeah. And I'm gonna run through this shit after like a little Q&A. No, we have professional staff. For what? We have a professional staff, right? And you want to optimize three things: the clarity, right? What is it that they get? The order, what happens next? People that post leads. What you mean by people that post leads, right? So resell leads. Like, what you mean by like people who post resell leads? I'm so confused. Like, is it someone who posts like, hey, like this product's like super cheap right now, so still if you guys go and get it, right? And so the DM flow, if you use DMs, right, you have to acknowledge one question and then straight to the next step. If you write paragraphs, okay, cool. Okay, cool, 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 cool. If you write paragraphs, you're just leaking conversions. No one's gonna read through that. They DM'd you, they're interested somewhat, ask the fucking question, go straight to the next step. Right? You already have the main objection on the offer. Right? For you, H, a lot of fucking numbers, your main objection is like you're telling me that they think $50 is too much. But you're also telling me there's someone else that's selling $40 that has the same exact audience with you, a $40 PDF, making anywhere between 20 to $100,000 a month. Right. So what would you say the biggest objection that you have whenever you do face these things? Are you like, what's the CTA? Is it let me go back to your page. Low income ceiling, that's what you think the number one objection is? Then make a post talking about here's how you can go make six figures from reselling. Or here's how like you know what I mean? And then objection post two is that you reframe it. Well, yeah, but they also don't say that they're fucking doing fraud. Like, and it really just depends on what's the audience that you're trying to curate. If you just want to curate and just looking for a quick buck, yeah, go do the resell like fake item shit. Just gonna go get a whole bunch of fucking 12 to 18-year olds that's gonna fuck around, find 50 it's like $40, and you could always churn and repeat it. Right, but like a real like some set of thing that you could run for like the next 2 to 3 years and just say, all right, cool, this is what's gonna be my main thing is what you're doing right now. You have to explain in a way where here's how you could go make an additional 5K a month. You know what I mean? Or additional 3K a month. And just frame it in a way, imagine what this additional side hustle income is going to do for you. Right. And then like what you're doing right now, you post the proof in the process. Right. Because scale only has three levers: is volume, efficiency, and leverage. Nothing else fucking matters. You know what I mean? You want to figure out a way to get as much volume in, right, and in the most efficient process where you have the most leverage. Right? That's a simple equation that for all scales, it's what scale fucking is. Right? And what leverage do you pull? If you get a lot of fucking hand raises, right, you're not going to have more volume. You only do that when you get like you're not getting enough fucking CTAs. You know what I mean? Where people aren't commenting enough, people aren't doing anything enough. Right? So I'd say for you at least, right? You have like three CTAs in your fucking caption. It's follow me, right? It's click the link in the bio. It's comment this. You need three different things, right? I don't know. All right, cool. If I'm interested in that, fuck, all right. You know what I mean? Kind of just go from there. But let me go comment on the picture real quick. And, but if you're getting a lot of hands with the raise lows, you need to fix your efficiency. So you just need to tighten up your conversion system. And if sales are happening but you're overwhelmed, just pull some leverage, like get some more leverage. You just need systems and templates. Like, right. And the decision making tree that I use is like our hands being raised, our conversions happening, and trying to repeat this next week. Whenever I answer to all these three questions, and it's like not all yes, I figure out okay, why is this a no, and how can I turn this no into a yes, right? And so the 30-day operating plan, you just post one piece of the cadence, you track the four KPIs, and you log one inside of the wins ledger. Assume you're getting sales on the day. Right, weekly, you identify the two patterns, you repeat them, you time one friction point, and you continue. Right, and the deliverable is just go to Discord, post your numbers from today, your top two patterns, message lock, and then like next week, 7 post titles, right? Because at the end of the day, random wins are for creators, right? Repeatable wins are for operators. And so today is going to show you guys how to make that system predictable. So it's just like, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's Q&A time. You know what I mean? So y'all just ask me uh any questions. If you guys are just now joining like the end, just ask me anything. We kind of just go from there. Affiliate marketing, I was getting $50 CPA, like cost per action. Everyone that I got an FTD. Um, if you have an FTD, I restrain myself gambling, getting more FTDs, getting more people to go gamble with me. Um, and then I was also running like websites, so it wasn't just all from like just straight Instagram. It was three like organic traffic sources, but the bulk did come from people on Instagram. But I was getting crazy engagement though. Like that's like the thing. Like I was getting crazy engagement. Like when I was like in the bulk of it, bro, like I was doing 1 million views a day. You know what I mean? So I was just like the engagement was crazy. We're getting 1 million views a day. Growth operating and then affiliate marketing. Because it's like growth operating and affiliate, it's basically the same thing in my fucking head. So I was just like, if I do the same thing, it's like I'm chilling. Um, so but the affiliate stuff, I got to talk with my business partner at the agency because he's like the big time affiliate, right? And see how we can work together on that. But yeah, it's just affiliate marketing and growth operating, bro. It's just like affiliate, like it's so cool. Uh, like on the first, I'm gonna have like a nice little affiliate payout. It's just like, damn, it's like I didn't do shit besides send the fucking checkout link. You know what I mean? Like send the checkout link, talk to the nigga. You was like, all right, cool. Right. So it's just like it's more of that. Like I do say that the easiest way to go make 10K a month is just go affiliate niggas course. Like, for example, like Jason's legit. I took it today. I think the people who like look at Philip for example. I don't know Jason's story. I do use Jason's launch strategy. I like his launch strategy. I think he does really good work, and it's always crazy when you hit 1 million in a month. So you can't ever take that away from him, right? Um, but the guys who started from high ticket sales, like look at like Philip Parks, for example. He started off in high ticket sales, and then he transitioned into growth operating, and he's fucking killing it, right? Because it's very easy to go from an offer that you're working on to growth operating that offer because you see all the links, you have all the fucking things. It's like, all right, cool. You just go to the offer of it. If you're a high producing sales rep and be like, hey, here's some links on finally. Let's run some traffic to this level page. You know what I mean? We kind of go from there. But yeah, I think it sales is good. But it all depends on like what offer that you're gonna get into, right? So it's like you have two routes. You go like the mass DM people that you want to get on their offer. People will let you buy it, or you just pay someone in the industry and tell them like, hey, like you just pay someone who has like a sales placement agency. It's like 5 racks. You pay them 5 racks and go from there. What's guap? What's got? Like, what you mean? But I'm gonna sink the shit completely. Like, if you want to get off of it, bro, just sell the fucking page. You know what I mean? Just sell the page, have someone else revive it. Because obviously, like, if it's your page that you grew from the start, obviously you know like how to go create traffic, right? The only thing that you need to learn how to do now is just how to go get the fucking conversions, right? But it's just like it's easier to get conversions whenever you're affiliating for someone else's course, right? Because 9 times out of 10 they'll go give you the FAQs or like the biggest objections that they see, right? And then it's just up to you to go close the deal. So if you're good at sales, try to exit soon and get back. Yeah. But like, what are you going to exit to go and do? You know what I mean? Just like realistically, if you're at 30, 50K a month, if you're going to pay that for 3 months, you can go get like 120 for the page. Maybe, maybe 50, 60 to 120, something like that. Um, but it's just like, what are you going to get into? What are you going to get into from there? Ads monthly minimum, very low churn. Hey, that'd be crazy if you can get that. That'd be crazy if you could get that. Um, so it's like, how you? So what are you gonna do to get back? What are you gonna do to get back to them? Hell, it feels like that. What happened to all the offers that you had? Well, yeah, like one thing that I learned in this is that the more affiliates that you have in this motherfucker, the easier it is to get a lot of traffic and like get a lot of conversions, right? Because especially if you're doing a faceless, just grow a page, document how you grew the page, go get affiliates, right? It's not that hard. What's up, bro? How you doing? It's not that hard to go get affiliates, right? You go get the affiliates. You know what I mean? And then you just give them the fucking blueprint. Here's how you fucking drive traffic for me. Here's all that I fucking want you to go and do. Here's all that you are gonna go and fucking do. You just rip and run from there. Like it's not that hard of like an equation after you get that, right? So I was just like, bro, you just have to figure out like on these new pages like the offer and don't pivot the offer, bro. It just depends. Apps is a volume game. If you run ads towards apps and they have a good CPA, apps correct. Like I know quite a bit of people making 30, 40,000 dollars a day off of apps and running traffic to apps. Oh, you're talking about building? Well, it's VCs. It's not regular niggas building the fucking apps. You know what I mean? It's dads and VC that gets on there. It's like, all right, cool. But we're in this fucking sector. Sounds good enough. It's a little shit, dickhead. They don't funnel through the presentation. Fuck it. Right. That's the thing. Like you don't personally need to know anyone right now because you're not in the thing. I mean, like, bro, it's different ways to spin it with apps. Most people build apps with the intent to sell. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like if you have an app that you truly believe in, right? Yeah, you want to go get people with lifetime. I get a year's worth of revenue up front. You know what I mean? And it's just like software is cheap to run. Cheap. You know what I mean? But it's just I see the appeal behind hiring apps. It's just I just have I have no interest in coding. So that's just it for me. But yeah, yeah, I'll ask some more questions. I'll stay on for 5 more minutes, so I could upload this on YouTube. Go on with my day. I'm just situated for YouTube though. No, not really. Like, I want to get into financial publishing for trading offers, but it's hard. So, like, yeah, I got a couple trading offers that I do work on, but now with info, I just kind of work on it on anything else. I'm working on content. It's just like, bro, I just have the trading offer. I have like the background, I scripted, like I own everything. You know what I mean? And then they just give me money. But yeah, we do with SEO, YouTube, Instagram. You're a creator. You don't know how to monetize. You don't want to worry about anything. All right, cool. Send traffic to our brand, and we'll just give you like 20%. You just turn them into affiliate, but we just leverage their personal brand. So yeah, yeah, like Nick Fisher. That'd be Nick Fisher would be a good example. Um, no, Nate does YouTube, organic YouTube. So he shows people how to go get like he's straight. He doesn't publish any offers. You have an offer that you already have, and Nate like manufactures like a YouTube video that pushes into your funnel. You know what I mean? But like they get really qualified. I'm gonna tap into Nate later on this year for my own personal brands. Just a couple of things I want to square away first. Um, yeah. Are you in the Discord already, bro? It's the same shit. The only difference is that you have to go find creators that want you when the money starts coming in, and that too they already have an existing offer. Right. Because that's the biggest thing. Because it's just like, if you have your own offer, I can't come in and be like, hey, like, th- come be an affiliate for me and my publishing company, and we'll pay you 10%. That 10% is greater than whatever you're making right now. Especially if you're making over 10K a month. You know what I mean? Like it's just super hard. But I think when it comes to like fulfillment, it's literally the exact same thing. Like you're scripting webinars, you're creating ads, you know what I mean? You're creating like a winning offer, you know what I mean? But now it's a lot tougher now financial publishing because you have to have the offer. The publisher owns everything. Like the one who publishes, like he owns everything. No, publishing is just a term, bro. Like it's just like the financial offer owner. Think of it as it's interchangeable. You know what I mean? It's not really just a mechanism. You know what I mean? It's just like what owning offers like that offer it in that niche, right? Publishing is just like I own the offer, but I don't want to go be like the content creator. I'm gonna go follow the content creator. I'm gonna publish it. You know what I mean? Like I know this offer will work. You're good at creating content. Let's create content, and you have enough expertise in this field. Let's create content. Here's the offer that we're going to push to. Here's how we're going to run it, and here's 10 to 40% for being the face of this offer. You know what I mean? But then it's like you also it is harder because whenever you're also having someone who might be good at content, they might overvalue how good at them being a content creator is. Pretty much, pretty much. That's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it. That's like the like a easy way to explain. Yeah. So like we have a mentorship, we have indicators, we have a course that works, right? You as a creator, you want to sell a course, but you have no clue how to go do so yourself. It'd be in your best interest to partner up with a financial publisher and just run traffic. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to do shit but fulfill. Like your fulfillment's making the videos, right? And going from there. Yeah, but they don't have like they're literally just like a face of it, right? They don't understand anything. Like it's just like you're the face. Like if I say like, hey, we're gonna go make 40K a month, I just need you to be the face of it. And which is why you're at the limit every single month. I record this YouTube video every week, record these reels. You know what I mean? Post on social on TikTok here. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Go answer the Discord. Go answer the questions here. You know what I mean? Everything else we take care of. We're taking that dude. But it's just like if you leave, you don't understand how we made money. So we're not showing you. So it doesn't matter to you. I think he doesn't. But no, I think JC has like a licensing. Right? I think he's selling growth op licensing. Like here's how you use my strategy uh, to get better results for your clients. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it's like 15 racks. I think it's worth it. You know what I mean? I think y'all's his shit's like 18 racks. I think that shit's worth it. You know what I mean? Because you have to think about it. It's a system. Right, because I think at the end of the day, because I feel like into it too, you can't fall in love with a single system or a single phone, right? Because not every audience is going to be receptive to that fucking system or thing, or you might have like funnel fatigue, like the funnel is everything it is it used to. Right? So all right, cool. Like, all right, let's say for example, you're a creator, you guys are running bi-weekly webinars, you're creating what's going on vacation. He doesn't want to run a webinar for like 2 to 3 months. You guys can go from running a webinar like system and funnel, right, to switching it up to a challenge funnel. You know what I mean? So like Yao now has probably the best challenge system, funnel system. Um, um, on money Twitter. So it's like, all right, cool. I got system works. It took them a month to go make 700K organically from YouTube. A month to go make 330K with a different client. So it's like, all right, cool. Just switch to that, right? And I think Yaya has the best business model because he can go work with 12 clients, right? And then structure the clients to where it's like or really the best way to go do it. You only have 4 clients and you drop per client once a quarter. You know what I mean? Because it is super dope how he flies out to his clients when they live with him or they live like near him. Right. I think that's like the best, one of the best systems to have is where you, especially if takes you a month to market, you can run a quarterly challenge funnel, right? And then like bi-weekly webinars. Um, and then like you have a standard application funnel on YouTube. Um, go from there. I think that would be the right creator, the right who understands it all. I think that would be very important. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna hop off and I appreciate everyone who kind of stayed on the line. Yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow.